to SEO Time Machines, the world's first operating system for your browser. I'm Dimitri, the creator, and today I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite tools, which is the page structure Xray tool. It's for designers and developers, particularly developers who really sick of opening Search Console, which is what happened with me. So I decided to design this tool. It's, as the name suggests, is designed to just see right through the page and see what's underneath very, very quickly. One of my favorite ways to do it, now, as with all the other tools, you can launch it via the toolbar. You can also, if this is something that you use often, you can favorite it so that the next time you open the toolbar, it's right there near the top. But my favorite way to launch it is using the mouse launcher. So if we have a look at this, see that we have this mouse launcher feature, which I've made any tool that's available, which is over 150 in our arsenal. You can launch via a action with the mouse. So in this case, just by holding down Command, scrolling up and down, I can launch the page Xray toolbar. Now this is super handy if you are just like that. So if you do this design work often and frequently, this is something that it just becomes muscle memory, and you can do it without thinking, without ever having that annoying console open. Console is great, but it's like a spaceship when you need to just push one or two buttons. Sometimes you want the a little bit of text, a little bit of content, class, attribute. You don't need to open the Search Console every single time. I truly believe this is one of the best tools for the designers out there. I've looked at other ones, I've compared, and I really think for the workflow and the speed, I think you're going to get a lot of use out of this. I think you're really going to love it. One of the first things and one of the first principles is that I try and have everything so that if there are actions that you take constantly or tabs that you switch to constantly, that you can somehow have that as a setting. So in our particular tool, we have actually 3 different tabs: styles, attributes, and HTML. And depending whether you're a developer, designer, you would switch to those more frequently than the others. So under the tools, if you have a look at, actually I should probably type Xray. If you have a look under the tools, and let's have a look for page summary. Actually, maybe in quick actions. Let me have a look. Actually, yeah, I think it's quick actions because it's one of those tools that I deem to be more useful than the others. So here in the default card tab, you can choose which of your tabs is the primary one that's open. So if you want HTML all the time and you select that as your primary tab, next time you open the tool and you select something, then the HTML tab is going to be the one that's highlighted. I've tried to eliminate all clicks wherever possible, even to the point where if you don't want to use the return key like I just did, you can select something and press Command Shift and click, and that will open the tab. So wherever possible, I've tried to minimize clicks, moving away from the style that you're used to. Everything here is click to copy, so you can copy all. You can also live change the properties. So it's got autocomplete if you want to change the weight, the pixels, everything that you can kind of see in Search Console is available here, either by click to copy or by command and click and changing it on the spot. So it has DOM traversal via keyboard. So if you launch it and you want one particular row, for example, you can click on an element and just go up and down the element rows. You can also go side to side using the keyboard. So everything is done to be maximum efficient, and the image or the cards are pinned as well. If you want to see the text a little bit larger, you can do that. There's a little modal with instructions on how to get information very quickly. So if you've got what you need, you can simply Control Shift click, that'll get you everything. If you want to command and click, that'll copy just the JSON. If you want to shift click, that'll copy the full HTML. So once you get into the flow, you won't even need to press these buttons here. You can copy everything that you need using shortcuts. So that is the page Xray tools. I use it all the time. I use it in places, especially maps and things like that, where there's lots of selectors, lots of elements to get through whilst building the other tools in this suite. This has become one of my favorite tools, something I use often, something I update as much as possible. So this is one of the best tools that I like to offer to the developer and designer community, and that's Page Xray Pro. Thank you.